She was a friend of hers,
Oh, okay.
and she approached me with that, and she asked me, and she was like, are you interested in modeling? Have you ever thought about it? And then my whole past kind of flashed before my eyes, like, yeah, I've done it before, I've tried it, didn't work out, da da da. Really, really nice. Her name is Mickey Santiago.
Shout
Very,
out to Mickey Santiago.
very nice lady.
Nice.
I owe her big time. Big time.
Definitely shout outs to those who help us along the way. So there you've moved into music. So you have music in your family, you say, that
Yes.
you guys have been doing that a lot. And what aspects? So like, for example, I also have music in my background. Like my grandmother was a jazz singer. My grandfather was a jazz guitar player. So roots like that where you're going back and you guys are
Yeah.
pushing through with it.
Yeah, so I have an Uncle Patrick Texon. He's pretty large out here as far as his name goes and his talent. He sings, he plays all the instruments you can possibly think of.
Nice.
Very, very, very talented. I have a brother that plays the drums. Sisters, like, we've all grown up around instruments, so we have an ear for the sounds and things like that.
And so what did you play?
Nothing.
Stop.
I just have the ear. I can hear good sounds and things like that. So yeah,
Wait.
I don't play any instruments.
You don't play any
I
instruments?
don't sing. I don't do any of that.
Okay.
I went the looks route, I guess. I did the modeling and stuff like that.
Okay,
I
the
didn't-
image side
yeah,
of it.
Yes.
And we're going to get more into that, talking about the different aspects of the business, right?
Okay, yeah.
So, but with you, okay, so you had the ear for the music rather than, I guess, more of a producer side of it?
Yes.
So did you dabble in beats or anything of that nature?
Um,
Like production as far as like
yeah,
kind of
actually,
mastering
actually,
music?
yes. And
Okay.
typically out south in LA, that's typically where I've done a little studio stuff, things like that.
Okay.
So it's real interesting now how they do it versus how they used to do it. It's everything's electronically done. You know what I mean? By
Yeah.
computer, laptop, things like that. You can literally get a whole song done on a little mini keyboard and a laptop. Versus back in the day, you needed drums, you needed the whole sound in the studio to play and for them to record you that way. Now,
Right. Set up the mics in the proper area to get the
Right,
right sound without getting the
not anymore. The computer,
Yeah.
you push a button, there's a drum.
whole pan left, pan right.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Right.
Right. And now they have the button to say, I want a pan left or pan right rather than it just being recorded that way.
Exactly.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's so interesting.
It's
it
all
has
sound
come a long
wave
way.
and stuff like that now.
Yeah. And so, with having said that, when you're so you're now with a Sony BMG music label,
Correct.
Legend Empire Productions.
Correct.
So let's let people know, because many different labels have different types of music. First off, what kind of music?
Pop EDM
Okay, pop EDM, and
specifically. But we dabble in everything, but that's our main focus. What
Okay.
we grab. Yeah.
so the main focus. So with that, the rules and probably regulations about a few things might kind of span across the board, right? As far as when they're looking at being an artist, getting into the industry.
Well, yeah, first and foremost, you have to have your image down. Because if somebody doesn't view you, as something that they want to follow or be like in some way.
So
then-
branded.
Yes, you have to brand yourself before nowadays the industry and the labels, they kind of, I don't want to say do it a lazier way, but it's a lot easier just to go on social media and click somebody's thing and pan down and see what they're about versus actually having to fly to New York or Texas, wherever.
Man, that takes the fun out of it, no? But yeah.
It does, but it's a lot easier because
Cheaper.
things come and go really, really fast now.
Yeah.
So, we have to figure
Kind
out,
of
do we
like
want this person? Right.
yeah, swipe
right.
through,
So you
like,
have to
what do we
brand
need?
yourself. You have to brand yourself.
Right.
Yeah, you have to have, X amount of followers with, streams and things of that nature before a label will even contact you or even want to look at you.
And so when they're looking at things, they have their feeds set up. So is that kind of one of the things that filters through the feeds of the individually set up labels and what they're searching and what they're seeking and what they're looking for by the amount of hits that are popping up for others? Is that what comes into their feeds mostly, do you think?
Yeah. And I say it because it's a word of mouth thing for the most part. Because I'm not myself, I'm not gonna just sit on the computer all day and just search this person and look through their whole profile and stuff like that. I'm gonna hear somebody say, hey, listen to this person, watch this person. They got what it takes, and then that's when I step in and okay, now I'm gonna go search and see, and then either they do or they don't. Or I'll see something that I like that can be fixed and try to work with them a little bit. And then if it's not working, then, we got to let it go because you can't spend too much time in one place. You have to keep moving.
So what are the things that jump out at you the most? And for any A&R person, what are some of the things that they would be looking for first, aside from once they found somebody who to them has been dopely branded,
right.
into the next
personality? You have to be approachable. First and foremost, because that's where you gain your fan base.
And can you give an example of that? Because I have a few examples I'm thinking in my head, but from your perspective.
Well, let's hear. I want to hear yours.
So, approachable. Coming across somebody who may find themselves in their energy and kind of big-headed, and then they kind of look at somebody and just automatically judge and just say, that person's not really doing anything, or may not be what I'm looking for, or whatever the case may be. But then don't want to talk to that person for business purposes for whatever reason. Approachable, or just with the fans being there, they don't want to bother with them or something. But there's some people who are like that, and they're really
they're gonna have a hard time.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
so,
again, if you're walking down the street. And some, and any and everybody, you can say hi to them and they'll actually speak back to you. They won't give you funny looks and things like that. Those are the people that you want to stay in contact with. You need that positive energy around you at all times. You'll have people who say, they have friends that are saying, oh, well, I don't think you can do that because, you shouldn't be around those people. You should always keep positive people around you. And in order to be approachable, have confidence. Don't have too much confidence to where you're scaring people off and, they're looking at you like, what's he got going for himself, but it's to a point where you're smiling, you know what I mean? And you're not staring down at the ground and stuff like that. It has to do, again, with a lot of confidence in everything that you do.
And I talked to a few artists about that
charismatic.
Recently. Yeah, charismatic. But confidence is a big one that you mentioned, though, because I've talked to artists. Okay, so kind of just to get to know them and them as a person. I won't say anything.
No names.
Right.
Yeah, we're not dropping
right.
any names.
No names. I won't get into music right away, just to kind of see how they are as a person, to talk to them. And then when you kind of get into talking about their music with them, you can kind of hear whether their energy goes up or does it kind of draw back. Right. Are they confident in what they're doing and excited and ready for that, hungry for that? Or are they like, oh, I'm not really sure.
See, those type of things, those are comfort things. So once you have them there, you can actually work with them to get them more comfortable.
Yes, I agree.
Things like that. And that's...
growing in their confidence.
Yeah, you have to be, again, you have to be able to work with these people. If they're not willing to learn, then
you can't spend that much time on them.
You can't spend time on them because there's somebody out there that is willing to learn. They might not have any talent at all, but if you can teach them how to be an artist or write them lyrics or, things like that, then you have an artist. It's an art. It has nothing to do with talent nowadays in that sense of being a rapper, singer, you know what I mean? Because you have auto-tune all day. You have people out there that can't sing a note. That auto-tune steps in and you're hitting a note for 20 minutes. So
yeah, let's speak about that a little bit more, because there are a lot more people. So back in the day when music and media and TV and all of that started, people really had to have talent in order to be scouted, and on TV, in the radio, they had to have talent.
Yeah.
So as you're speaking now, they don't really have to have talent because they have all these instruments and the technology to help them be something that they're not. So are you saying the image carries them? And then for those who are talented, where do they end up falling when it comes into being in the industry? If they are pursuing it or not?
The talented ones stay in the industry for the longest because you don't have to do much. You don't have to teach them anything. They already have everything that it takes. They can sing. so they're going to continue singing. They don't have to use this computer the whole time. Like, you know, they can tour a lot more because it doesn't take as much for them to perform. You know, that's where they have the acoustics and things of that nature, because they can actually sit there and sing all day long and people will love to hear their voice. Yeah. You know, you need drummers, things of that nature in the background to actually play, because that's where the real sound comes from. You know, that's just it. You know, if the less talent you have, the more, for instance, the more I have to teach you to do something, the more tired I'm going to get. And if somebody walks in with the same talent as you plus more, I'm going to work with them. Right. You know, because things are going to get done a lot faster.
And so for the ones that are not utilizing, I guess not coming with as much talent, when they do tour, how much more work does it take them to have a show planned and prepared for them to do?
Well, you're always preparing. So there's no such thing as an off season for singing and, you know, things like that. You're always preparing yourself for something, because you're always learning something. So whether you're going on tour, you have a sound check, you go to sound check every day. You know, these things like that, to get your voice right, you have to know everything you're doing on stage, off stage, behind the scenes, on the way to on your tour bus or whatever the case may be. You're always ready for something.
Yeah, I hear things just kind of happen on the road for some people, which is kind of interesting. So there's a lot of people in the area that I see pushing really hard here in Stockton. And, you know, they really want to hit the networks. They really want to start the touring, things of that nature. What kind of advice can you give them as far as, like, preparation goes for anybody who thinks that you're just going to go on tour like that?
You don't just go on tour like that.
Right.
you don't. You have to. Okay, look. You have to be willing to learn. A lot of people in Stockton. I'm not talking bad about Stockton, because there's a lot of talented people out here. Yeah. They're misdirected. You know, they're told, you know, you can do it. You can do it. Don't go here though, because it's too hard. You have to be willing to take those chances. You know, there's artists out here that have made it. You know, whether it's music, you know, you have talent in sports, you know, all aspects. And the people in sports, how did they make it? They had to go to college, go out of town somewhere to make a name for themselves, and then come back. You know, everything can't be done within your city all the time.
It's so true. I've seen that happen even with city development. So developers and young entrepreneurs who have gone out and explored the world and have brought ideas back into developing the city. And I remember having a conversation with one of the gentlemen of 10 Space when they first started, and asked, you know, how that came about. And basically that's what he let me know, that he was from Stockton, he was coming back to Stockton, and that was something that he had grasped and gained the knowledge and the wisdom of how to run certain businesses, or how that would look developing more businesses, you know, and in real estate and working to develop the city and urban development, which I thought was pretty awesome, that we had people coming back and wanted to do that, and that they were from here. So hearing that coming from you, you're from here, you have to go out to have sometimes a worldly perspective to come back and see, what can be changed. A lot of people
don't really have as much confidence as they should have. Everybody should have, you know, a good amount of confidence to be able to go to the next level. Yeah. You know, people quit too easy, and that's the sad truth of the matter. You know, you have people that leave and come back, but then there's no one there to actually help them along, because it's power in numbers when it comes to things like that. You know, the people that really want it done are going to be the ones that don't quit. You know, you have a lot of people starting it and then they get turned down and they quit. You know, starting and then they quit. You have to just keep pushing. You know, you have to rub shoulders with positive people. Go out, bring them in, put your heads together, come back, leave, come back. You know what I mean? It's a process, but once you quit, it's over. Because if you quit, somebody's going to pick up your slack and pick up what you taught them, or what they've learned from you just by watching. Right. And succeed.
Totally. And
the easy way.
And unless, you know, that's the goal of the person, you know, to just do that, then, you know, okay, more power to them. But for those who, you know, if you're listening, I'm telling you, I've encouraged quite a few of you guys, and I'm going to continue to keep encouraging you guys to definitely keep pushing. I know you guys, people out here got 9-to-5s, you know, they got families, they got to take care of their folks, their people,
thing, yeah.
But it doesn't mean that you have to give up on, you know, your pathway. If you're super talented and you are almost there, in the Buddhist philosophy, they call it Sanchoshimas. People want to call them devils. They'll come and try to get in your way. They're going to come. They're going to try to stop you.
It's a mind thing.
Totally.
You got to be strong-minded.
And you guys have to know what and where those Sanchoshimas come from, because they can be mental. They can be physical. They can be familial, meaning that maybe a family is reaching out and all of a sudden you have issues going on. Go ahead.
Daniel's calling me.
Do you want to take the call?
I can't take the call. No, I'll wait. I already told him I was going to come on, so he's probably calling me right now to see what's going on. How is it going? So.
And to let him know we started the show with his
Yeah.
promo.
He's okay. It's fine. It's
Yeah.
public. It's
Right.
We want
and we want
everybody
to share
see.
that. We
Right.
definitely want
Right.
you guys to know that that's in the mix and that's out there, and that's who he is, and you guys are going to get to know more of him soon. But yeah, definitely going back, just with everybody, you know, pushing and getting out of that, you know, knowing and recognizing what those are for you, and to be strong enough and have the courage enough to say, hey, you know what, that's something that I need to not put my energy into, and this is what I need to put my energy into, if that's what you're really pursuing, and not quit on yourself, not quit on your music or
Right.
those that you can impact.
Like, for instance, like, you know, I have some people that, you know, I look up to as far as in the music that are out here. You know, I grew up with them. They, you know, they were repping from day one from high school, and they never gave it up. You know, shout out to Hallway Productions. You know, Dijon, Teak, Underdo.
Yes.
They're doing their thing. You know, but I look up to them. They got all their ducks in a row, and they're knocking them down.
Yeah.
Example where people haven't quit. You know, I'm pretty sure they have a lot of people that told them, oh, you know, you guys ain't gonna make it, or you guys are crazy for repping this for this long. I mean, since high school, you know, they're walking through Franklin Hallway, you know, repping this Hallway Productions, you know, Franklin Hallway Productions, you know, they're there, you know, they're rubbing shoulders with the big guys,
Right.
just as well, you know, so
you
shout
guys,
out to them.
Yeah, definitely. Big shout out to them. They are definitely a great example, especially for those who are from Stockton.
That's right.
So, how new or how long has the label been around? And
We're coming up on a year.
Coming up on a year, so you guys are gonna have a nice 1 year celebration.
Yeah, everything's gonna drop by the end of this year. We're actually getting things into production as far as music goes now. So if you do look us up, you won't find anything, because they won't see the way the business works is you can sign with a label, but until you actually put your numbers out, they won't actually publicize you. You know, because who's gonna advertise something that you can't look up? You know what I mean?
Right.
Because then that makes them look bad.
Right.
You know, so as of now, you won't find us.
So
We're kind of laying low until the big bang comes, and then, you know, we're gonna flood the lines.
So when they come to work with your label, your company, is it something where they can say, hey, I really like to work with this person and this person because this person, you know, knows how I work well, or whatever the case it may be for them? Do you guys consider those types of things when they, you know, they have a preference of somebody that they work with and then want to come with them? How does that work for you guys?
Working with an artist on the label, or within the label, or just in general?
Yeah, just like an artist. Yeah. So say you're bringing in somebody, but then this somebody has, you know, like almost like a safety blanket type friend or partner, where
Manager?
Something of that nature. Yeah.
They call those managers.
Okay.
Those are the ones that kind of shun the artist from doing anything, or, you know, or the ones that do most of the research and either ruin an artist's
Oh,
career
no.
or actually build it. Yeah.
Oh man. And so how does that, okay, so you would call them managers. I wouldn't have thought to call them a manager,
Yeah.
honestly.
I mean,
Because I'm thinking of somebody who like maybe helps them or does like music production with them, like
It's a
you know,
manager.
has a great ear and they work together, a good collaborative.
that either a manager in that case, or you have a producer, or you're, engineer, things like that.
So do you look at them as together, or if you're saying, I really just want this one person, that's kind of how you guys go?
Well, I mean, you got to remember, the more people you have in your office, the more people you have to pay.
True.
So it's better to have somebody that knows a lot, have 2 people versus 7, because then, it's dispersed a little better. But, that's a money issue that we're not going to talk about right now.
Right. And as far as like the side of having the artist continue to be, I guess not, unless they're a group, a duo, and that's what you're bringing in. I guess that's what you would want to call it, an entity of more than one individual. But unless you're just looking at an individual, that's just an individual.
Well, if it's a group,
or
and
duo,
one person or duo, whatever, again, it's better to have one person. You look at all the groups that split up because the money wasn't the same when they're with the group, because when you sign a contract as a group, there's one name on there, so you guys have to kind of split all that.
That's funny. I had a conversation with somebody else that said that math really wasn't that relevant, but then I was thinking, when it comes to numbers like that and you need to know the split, you need to know some math.
Yeah, I'm a rapper now. No, I'm not a rapper. Somebody asked me if I'm a rapper now. No.
Are you a rapper now? No. Just speaking on the label and a few tips to the artists out here as to what it would be for them if they're looking to get into the industry or kind of follow that pathway. What are those types of things that they need to do to stay on the right path for themselves in their paperwork? So other than definitely being branded. So
brand yourself.
Have great charisma, personality. Need to know the industry.
You need to know. If you want to be a rapper, a singer, an artist of any kind, do the research first. Because there's a lot of rappers, there's a lot of people that don't know paperwork. They don't know these type of things. And they sign these contracts and they don't know what's going on. They're signing them and they're wondering when their money's coming in, but they didn't read.
They didn't read the whole contract,
no,
right?
They didn't read. Most of the time, you don't get money up front, things like that. Now, touching on that, the only time you would get like money, things of that nature up front is if you have a large following. If you've already, say, within your city, everybody follows you, everybody supports you, you have 40, 50, 60,000 followers on Instagram or, whatever, and you're doing these shows already by yourself, that's when a label's going to want to come in. It doesn't matter where you're at. They're going to hear it. It's going to cause a nice little wave, and, they're going to want to ride that wave with you. Mm-hmm. They're going to want to pay you, and then you'll get your bonuses and things like that. Mm-hmm. But bonuses don't just come with a signing. It doesn't matter, how good you think you are or how talented you are. I've come across some talented people in Stockton, and some things have happened, but no hard feelings. It's a sad thing, because you have talent,
so much talent out
here, but they're
here,
not willing to learn. You have to be willing to learn and do your research before you open your mouth and say things, that could possibly end a career or things like that. And, in the industry, that happens quickly. Phone call, text message, your name gets out there. And
something like that happened with Iggy Azalea, I think. Like, she said something and it just ruined her career, I think. I'm going to have to double check my facts on that.
Not to say too much, because we can't really say names and stuff like that.
But that was the rumor. So, and that
is probably just contract stuff.
Yeah, that's
we'll
just
say that. It's probably just a contract thing where
those are not
something wasn't completed. Something wasn't completed within a contract or something.
Okay.
And they take a different route.
Okay.
But, they're all still successful.
Right, yeah, and I still hear her stuff out there.
That's that goes along with talent. If you can write your own lyrics, you're gonna go a long way.
I have to agree with that, because you can keep writing, keep producing those lyrics.
As long as you wake up every day, you have something to write about.
Mm-hmm.
You can wake up and had a dream, write it out. A song's not long anymore; it's only 2-3 minutes.
Yep.
They used to be 7 minutes long. Things like that. Not anymore.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Short
If you
attention
want to
span.
do it, you have to put the time in.
And get it into the right hands. So for those who are,
Right.
and so for
Correct.
those who are looking to do things like that, what do you recommend for them? So other than doing your research,
Look, it's as an artist,
where are you going to send it?
you know, you can have, I'd say, save 2 songs in your head or whatever, you know, and they have open mics. And I'm not talking about these little, you know, small little venue things. I'm talking about, you know, larger things where you have to travel. Like go to San Francisco. They have a lot of open mic things out there.
Mm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
remember Carl
Sacramento
Thomas from Bad Boy. He was in, I believe he was either Oakland or San Francisco, and Diddy was sitting in, and he heard him playing and singing. And he signed him.
Ah.
You know, now I can say the name because it's a positive note. You know, I'm not talking bad on the people or
Right,
anything
right.
like that. But you know, those are, you know, that's how easy it is. You know, but you have to be willing to put yourself out there. You can't say I'm a rapper, I'm a singer, I have talent, but you're sitting at home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or even going to these places, but you're not trying to put yourself out there, rub shoulders with these people. That's all it takes. It's who you know. It's not what you know.
Right.
You can know everything in the world, but if you don't know who to get it to, or you know, somebody at the next level, you're not going to get anywhere.
Where to put yourself to be seen.
Right. I mean,
or-
that's how I came about. You know, I was just doing runway shows and stuff like that as a model, and I rubbed shoulders with a guy, and he put me in hands with another guy. You know, and I just moved up the ladder.
Mhm.
You know, out here, people don't know what I do, but I don't put myself out there like that out here like that, because then you have unnecessary attention. You know, of different things. Like I don't have a lot. I'm not rich. I don't drive a fancy car. You know what I
Right.
mean? I have a regular job, but
Mhm.
I know people.
Mhm.
So when the time comes to do things, I can get them done.
Mhm.
I'm just not gonna, you know, go spend money on random things just to, you know,
Look the part.
Yeah, look the part of
of,
anything.
like,
it's not.
something that isn't.
It's not practical.
Yeah, not practical.
You're not gonna get too far
And
spending
even
every.
if you had a whole bunch of money, you still want to be practical.
Look, I know. I talked to a few people with large amount of money. You know, a large amount of money that says it's not everything. Because at the end of the day, once you have everything, then what?
Right.
You're not even working anymore.
Right.
You don't really have a reason to actually wake up and do something. You're just like, fuck. Oh,
Because the money's already making
Everything,
itself
yeah.
and perpetuating itself. Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. You know, I have a friend. You know, he has an app. It's called a HopSpotter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, real positive guy. You know, good friend.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he writes for some big people in the industry. You know, he has some songs out there right now that you didn't know were his, that he sold to other people. You know, because of the problems that came along with that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's, you know, millions. He's got millions in the bank. But he said it's still not happy. It's still not, you know, it's still not everything that he thought it was going to be.
Right. And it's what matters to you guys for that quality life. What brings quality for you. So, and it's different for everybody.
Everybody.
And it's different
Yeah.
for everybody. But I hope you guys were able to get a few gems out of the conversation here for anybody who is continuing to search that journey.
Get out and be seen. Don't stay at home.
There you go.
Get on. I mean, it's sad to say, but get on social media. Put yourself out there as much as you can
Link with
in the
people
right
that
way.
you know. Yeah,
in the right
and
way.
link
though.
with people that you know who have a network and can help you get places that you need to go. Different places, different stages, different cities, different states. It's very important. I think that's definitely a good point for you guys to know. Get out, open your minds, come back, and see what that perspective is again.
Right. And shout out to Bar Boys over there in Sacramento. My brother Glenn.
Okay.
He's doing his little thing. He's got something going on. He's trying to get it
Gonna
together.
drop soon?
Yeah. No, I mean it's a little series he's trying to work on. So
Nice.
good. And Herbalife. I got my little Herbalife tea here.
Yep.
My
Shout
friends
out.
over there, Herbalife. Yeah.
Okay. Well, she did tap in. She's saying
Did she?
yes
Oh.
with a heart.
I gotta shout out my people out trying to get something done. Two Gun Killy, of
That's
course.
right. All right, well, you guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed the conversation, the tips, and some insider points from the A&R rep of Legend Empire Productions.
Read your contracts.
Oh, yes. brand yourself. Let's just go through those really quickly
Real quick,
again.
go ahead.
Number one, you're going to make sure that you are branded. Stay branded. You need to get your personality up, become charismatic, however it is that you do it, whether it's like a straight up Eeyore or you're Tigger for life, you know.
Just don't get big headed. That's
part.
a big turnoff.
You got to be approachable.
Yes.
Number
approachable,
3,
like.
you got to be approachable. So you want to be able to know your stuff by reading up and doing your research. Don't do anything without contracts or down the road if you're going to start getting into anything.
And don't rush it either.
And don't rush it.
Don't rush.
So I hope you guys have got that. And I know there's a couple others in there that really were a good point.
Yeah, and I didn't get a chance to say hi to the people that are following me either. But I see everybody. I'm gonna help. I'm gonna do something for Stockton. I got some stuff going on.
I want to shout out Effects. So Rob, I'm shouting you out. Thank you so much just for having breakfast with me one day and supporting my soap business. So thank you so much. I hope your daughter is enjoying that and that we were able to go to breakfast and in the same turn was able to meet Mr. Hunt here. So thank you so much. It's a small world. It's a great network. You know, we're working hard and people don't stop, you know. They're everyday people doing everyday things and they're just doing it in a great way that puts them in places, you know,
How much time do we
like
have?
this. About a good couple minutes.
Couple minutes.
Do you want to go ahead and shout some people out?
No, not a shout out. I just wanted to say, time is everything, so don't waste it. Okay. I mean, I know people have full-time jobs and things like that. You have to find a way to not be tied down to that. If you have something bigger that you want to do, you have to find time to get out of there and do exactly what you want to do. Because that's when you're going to be happy. If you're going to work every day and you're not happy, you don't need to be there. You need to find something else you're happy with. And if it's to be successful in the music or, I don't know, soap or writing lyrics, things like that, do that. And if you're 30 years old or older, as a woman, sad to say, I don't want to say it, but it's not gonna. You're not
going on stage.
You're not going on
the big stage.
On the big stage. They're looking for that young. I mean, I'm not being sexist when I say it.
No.
But I mean, this is exactly.
I'm over 30 and I do perform and I don't want to go on the big stage.
We spoke about that.
I don't want to go on the big stage.
And you succeeded already on just a couple days of just here, do this, place your lyrics in someone else's hands. So you just have to get somewhere, get to that next step.
Yeah.
But time is everything. Don't waste it, please.
You guys heard it. All right, you guys take care. That is our session for the day of Marane Hour, tapping it with Estaquiano Hunt. You guys can follow him at Estaquiano Hunt on Facebook, and you can also catch him on IG. And any others that you would like to give to them?
If you see me on the street, say hi. Don't think I'm some stuck-up person or whatever.
Right.
Because I get that a lot, because I keep to myself. I don't rub shoulders with too many people. Just people that are positive energy. Again.
Yeah, for sure. All right, you guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed everything that he's brought to you, and you guys know he's from here. If you guys see him, shout him out, say hi, and just say thank you if it was the show that you guys watched and gained some knowledge from. And
I didn't answer any questions.
Yeah.
Approached me and asked me some questions. I'm not,
He's approachable.
I'm very approachable. Very approachable. I am. I promise.
All right, you guys, stay approachable as well. All right, peace.